Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Mrs. Dominguez, and we're going to be talking about factoring polynomials. So it's the first day in the unit, and usually these are one of the easier lessons, so I really want you to get a good grasp on how to do today's, okay? Let's begin. So we factor polynomials. Factoring polynomials is kind of, it's the opposite. It's the opposite of multiplying, okay? So instead of kind of consolidating, we're kind of pulling it apart, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so it's kind of reversed, right? Notice here how we have standard form. So one of the first things is you got to make sure, am I in standard form? Okay, our standard form looks like that. And I want to point out to you that the exponents are going from big to little, right? You got an exponent of 2, 1, and of course 0 over here, okay? Exponents are from big to little. Okay, so exponents are those little numbers on the top of the variable. Okay, we're going to be using this. And the basic structure is this, okay? You're going to identify your coefficients. First coefficient is going to be A, B, and then finally you have a constant of C. So that's going to be A times C. That's what's going to go on the top of the X, right? And then here we have B on the bottom, okay? And then we're going to use the calculator to come up with our factors. And we're going to divide by A. Divide by A. Okay. So step number 1, we want this in standard form, right? It needs to look like this right up here, right? With our exponents from big to little. Step 2, we want to put B on the bottom, okay? And no coincidence there, right? B is for the bottom. B on the bottom. Okay, right. Let me kind of make that real obvious for you guys. B is on the bottom. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Now the AC, A times C, will be on the top. Everything else goes on the top. And we're going to find our factors using the calculator, okay? Find factors with the calculator. I'm going to abbreviate because I want to put in here the two equations we're going to be entering. We're going to enter f of x is equal to a times c over x. And then the next one we're going to enter, it's going to look like this, like y1 and y2, right? So I'm going to put a little 1 right here. And our second equation will be the same exact thing, but we're going to add x. And don't worry, I think this is really going to come together once you see an actual example, okay? So our next step would be then to divide by A. That's what we're doing right here. We write down each of the factors on the side, and we divide by A. And then we reduce those fractions, and we write our factors. Okay. So if you recall factors, when we say like, what is the factors of 6? And you might say, 2 times 3. Well, those are just the numbers that multiply to become 6, right? So we're just looking for things that multiply to become our original standard form polynomial. So here, it's going to end up looking something like this. It could be a positive or negative with our number right here. And same thing here. It could be positive and negative with our number right here. Okay, so let's get in this. Of course, the beautiful thing about a video is that you can just pause it if you take a little longer to write. And let's go ahead and begin. Now, I wanted to, because we talked about factoring being the opposite of multiplying, right? And so just a little blast from the past so we don't forget how to do things, okay? Remember when we would do this and we were doing distribution, right? We would distribute the 2 with the first term, distribute that 2 with the second term, right? And it kind of looks like this. We take positive 2 as our multiplier, and we have 2 terms, right? And inside of there, we put each term. So this one is x, it's positive, and positive 4. And you always bring the sign with it. And so we end up with 2 times x. I know it's been a while, right? 2 times x, which is just 2x. And then we have 2 times 4, which is plus 8, right? So this was multiplying. We took like 2 separate polynomials here. We had 2, and then we have the x plus 4, and then we kind of combine it to make something without any parentheses. Again, just a little refresher. And here would be a great place for you to pause, see if you remember how to do this still, and then come back and see if you got what I got. Okay, welcome back. Our multiplier is negative 4. Really important. You bring that negative with you, right? We have 2 terms. And we're going to drop it in, plus x, and then plus 3. And of course, you could use your calculator. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Calculator won't help you on that one, but it would help you on this one. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. And there are our final answers, right? So that was multiplying. It kind of brought it together, right? Well, we're going to get started with factoring, which is kind of reversed, right? It's going to pull it apart, and you're going to see parentheses in your final answer, right? Reversed. So let's go ahead here. Let's start off with this one. I think the first thing we need to do is verify, is it in standard form? Are we going from the largest exponents to the smallest and finally ending with a constant? Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to identify, because remember, standard form looks like this, and we need to identify what each one of these variables is. So let's start off with, I'm going to start off with the hardest one. What is in front of x squared? I don't see anything. Well, if you don't see anything, what is the coefficient? It's 1, right? Because I see 1x squared, so it's 1. So A will equal 1, B will equal 5, and C will equal 6. Okay. Now our instructions say that we want to put B term on the bottom. Well, let me do the little x. Okay. Do the x. B is for the bottom. Great. Put that down there. Okay. And then A times C. So I'm going to just write here. B is on the bottom, and then A times C is on top. So that's 1 times 6. 1 times 6. So I'm just going to put a big 6 right there, right? I know I'm dealing with 6 and I'm dealing with 5. Now, what we want to put in our calculator, we have 2 equations. The first equation that I'm going to put in is, we take A times C, so that's 6, and we divide it by x. Our second equation is the exact same thing, except that we add x to the side. Let's go to our calculator. And if you're in this screen right here, you want to select y equals. We're going to go and type that in, alpha y equals 1, 6 down x. And to the right, verify it looks the way you want it. Cool. Let's do it again. Same exact thing. Only difference is, and notice how I go to the right. I'm completely out of the fraction. The only difference is now I want to add x. So I add x. That's not the one I'm looking for. Make sure, don't do what I did. That was multiplication, right? We want to use this as our x. And so, does it look the way I want it to look? Absolutely. All right. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the table. Second table. Okay? And we're looking for our factors. We're looking for our factors. We're looking for 5. So I'm going to put here just a little note to myself. Look for the 5. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Those are supposed to be eyeballs, y'all. I don't know. All right, so 5. So I'm going to go over here, and I go to the last column, Y2, and I'm looking for 5. And I see 2 of them, right? I've got 2, 3, 3, 2. Awesome. Okay, so basically one of my factors is 2, and the other factor is 3. Y'all see that? Here I look in Y2 for B, and then I pull out my factors. So I'm going to say, look in Y2 for 5. Okay? All right. The next step is that we're going to divide by A. Well, yay for us. A is 1. Makes it super easy. 2 divided by 1 is just 2. And 3 divided by 1 is just 3, right? And all I have to do, my variable is x, and this 2 is positive, and this 3 is positive. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our answer. Okay? Let me go ahead here and demonstrate. If you want to, this might be a good time for you to pause, see if you can get it, and then come back. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. I'm going to go ahead here, do my x. I'm going to identify my A, my B, and my C. Okay, again here, A is 1, B is 8, and C is 12. B goes in the bottom. A times C goes on the top. I'll go ahead and write those in. 8 and 1 times 12 is 12. Awesome. Let me write my equations. Now it's A times C that goes on the top, right? Remember this right here? This was A times C over X. So I'm going to put 12. Makes sense. It's on the top of the X. It should be on the top of my fraction, right? And then we have Y2, same fraction, but we're going to add X. Okay, let's go to our calculator. I'm going to go to Y equals. The nice thing is you don't have to get rid of this. All you have to do, you could delete, and then you just type in what you want, 12. And I'm going to go down. I'm going to delete, and I'm going to hit 12. Okay? And now I'm going to my table. So tables in blue, we hit second graph. Okay? And again, I'm looking for, whoops, we're going to pretend that's okay. Look for this in Y2. Okay? So let me go over here. I already see it. I see it in 2 places. And it really doesn't matter which one because they're the same, right? It's just switched. So here I got an 8, and it looks like my factors are 6 and 2. Wonderful. Let's take it over here. 2 and 6. We divide by A, right? We're dividing by A. A is 1, which makes it super easy. We have a factor of 2, and we have a factor of 6. So my answer is x plus 2 times x plus 6. Okay. Remember, if you have a question about anything, make sure that you bring it to your teacher during sync time, okay? And let's go up. Let's look at number 5. I'll just leave it like that. I'm going to verify that it's in standard form. This one's slightly different because for the first time we have a negative value for C. So let's see how this pans out. A will equal 1. B will equal 1 because if there is no coefficient, we put a 1. And C is equal to negative 20. Let's do our X. B goes on the bottom, right? And A times C goes on the top, everything else, right? So B is 1. A times C is 1 times negative 20, which is negative 20. I'm going to write my equations. Go to the right a little bit. Y1 will be, let's see, we take the number on top and put it on top over here. Okay, negative 20. And we're going to divide that by X. And then Y2 will be negative 20 over X plus X. Going to my calculator, I'm going to delete this and put in negative 20. Go down. You know, you could type over it too if you wanted. Negative 20. And then we're going to go to the right, make sure it looks good. Looks good. And second graph, we're looking for the 1, and we're looking for it under Y2. So I go down, and lo and behold, there it is, with factors of 5 and negative 4. Make sure that you are bringing the signs with it. We divide by A, right? Don't forget. This will equal 5, and this will equal negative 4. So our variable is X plus 5. You can always put a plus, right? Times, and make sure you put parentheses around the whole thing, X minus 4, close parentheses. Okay. Now would be a great time for you to pause. See if you can get number 6. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. A is 1, B is 2, C is negative 15. B is in the bottom. A times C is in the top. 1 times negative 15, which is negative 15. And B is 2. Okay, we're going to write our equations. Y1 is going to take the number on top, negative 15, and put it on the top over here. And then Y2, same exact thing, but we add the X. Let's go to Y equals, replace negative 20, and I'm just going to type over the 20, I'm going to put 15. 15, so that I verify, does it look right? It does. And I'm going to go to the table. What am I looking for? That's right, I'm looking for 2 in Y2 column, right? So we go down, go down, go down. I see negative 2, close, but no banana. Here I have a 2, awesome, I'm going to go with it. That means my factors are 5 and negative 3. 5 and negative 3. We divide by A, and now that's pretty easy, just equals 5. This just equals negative 3. Our variable is a Y, so we want to make sure that we use Y plus 5. That's a positive 5, right? And then we have Y minus 3. Okay. If you feel like you got the hang of this and you can handle the next one where we have a negative in a slightly different position, give it a whirl. Pause it. Okay, and come on back. All right. Glad you're here. Let's identify. A is 1. No coefficient. Coefficient must be 1. B is negative 6. Make sure you bring the sign with it. And C is 8. We're doing the X. B is on the bottom. everything else is on top. So we have negative 6, and we have 1 times 8. I hope it's okay with you if I just say 8, okay? Now, we're going to write our equation. The number on top will go on top here. Second equation, exactly the same, except that we add x. We are looking for negative 6. So let's see. I'm going to go here. I'm going to just delete all this. And I'm going to type in 8. I'm going to go down, delete, and 8. Looks good to me. Let's go to the table. We are looking in Y2 for negative 6. 6, great. Okay. I don't see, well, let's keep looking. Oh, okay, so I went up 2 times, and hello, there's my negative 6, right? Which means I have a negative 2 and a negative 4 as my factors. I'm going to divide by A, and next time when y'all meet, you will have A's that are not 1. So this will change just a little bit, but here we go, negative 2. And this is equal to negative 4. So therefore, our factors are these two things. We have the variable of n. So n minus 2 times n minus 4. Guys, I'm hoping that this is really simple for you, and I enjoyed having the opportunity to be with you today. Thank you so much, and please bring all questions to us during sync time today, okay? Take care. Bye.